My name is Eunice Masipa. I'm a practicing attorney in Pretoria, but also in my professional capacity, I am the Treasurer General of the National Association of Democratic Lawyers. I am the Vice President of the Law Society of South Africa, and I'm also the Vice President of the Pan-African Lawyers Union. Well, this question, I seem to have a different answer every time I'm asked this question, because I don't remember a time where I had said to myself, I want to be a legal practitioner. But funny enough, about 2 months ago, whilst I was going through my old school reports and certificates of achievement from primary and high school level, I then picked up that all my certificates and achievements have always been in a language, they've always been in debate. And then that is when it started making sense that in as much as I've never consciously taken the decision to say that I want to be an attorney when I grow up, but it seems as if the direction that my life was taking from that level ultimately took me to where I am. And I think also another turning point for me was in 2006 when my grandfather was shot and killed in his shop. I was in matric at that time, and I think that also unconsciously directed me to ultimately choose a career in law, just to ensure that more indigent people are aware that there are legal avenues that one can pursue, and also just advocate for access to justice for the less privileged. Well, the greatest challenges, and I think, the legal profession being a previously male-dominated profession, and it still quite is male-dominated. As a female legal practitioner, you find yourself always having to work more harder than your male counterpart. Always having to try and speak louder than your male counterpart, just so that your voice could be heard in a room full of male practitioners. And furthermore, it also comes to the work-life balance. As women, we are already disadvantaged by the mere fact that I'm a woman. We are mothers, we are wives, and you, more often than not, have to balance that work life. The legal profession is a very, very demanding field, and as a woman, you find yourself at a backstand to your male counterparts. And also some of the challenges that I've also faced was being victimized by our male counterparts. More specifically, as a candidate legal practitioner, there are issues of sexual harassment, but that obviously is being remedied by policies that we are trying to implement and that have been implemented to obviously remedy that particular situation. Most important thing is that we need to address our unconscious bias, which is something that we as individuals are not aware of. And I think if we do address that, we'll be in a position to understand the inequalities that are facing us in this particular field. And also, we need to conscientize our male counterparts, because most of the bias and inequalities that we experience in the legal profession would come from our male counterparts. Again, not because they are conscious of that their actions are actually, promoting inequality, but because they are not aware. So if we are able to draw in our male counterparts into discussions that we have as women, just make them understand from a deeper perspective of what it means and the challenges that we face as female legal practitioners, then I strongly believe that we will not have a challenge where we face these inequalities. I would say that, one must seek mentorship. There needs to be some way or someone you look up to, someone who's your counsel, someone who's able to, sort of give you advice and advice on, the trajectory your career could take. Secondly, capacitate yourself, and that could be attending moot court, that could be attending events that, legal related events, or anything that could be along those lines. And I think in these particular engagements, one would then be able to decide that if they want to be in the legal career, which direction are they going to take? Because you don't necessarily have to be an attorney when you're in the legal field. There's so many other avenues that you can explore, because an LLB degree is such a universal degree, and the world is your oyster. So you're not just restricted to being an attorney. There are so many other avenues you can explore. And secondly, I think just be a kind and credible human being. Strive to always do what is best. Strive for fairness, and just strive to excel and capacitate yourself. You cannot rely on the fact that you are a woman. That's not going to get you that far. It can only get you this far. But if you are capacitated, if you do read, if you do try by all means to have a mentor who's able to direct or assist in the direction of your career, then you will get far. So it's just a myriad of things that one has to follow in order to ultimately pursue a successful career in the legal profession. Discipline being at the top of the list, and working closely with God, top of the list.